Is Trump's new phone basically an iPhone clone with extra patriotism? Is Apple blocking the cool features behind exclusives? And could Intel's budget CPUs finally give AMD some real trouble? That and more in today's tech news. Trump just dropped a smartphone. Yes, a phone, because he basically told Apple to make their iPhones in America, but they didn't. So he basically just said,
"Fine. I'll do it myself."
It's called the T1 phone, and honestly that name sounds better than whatever Sony cooks up with their own phones. Priced at $449, the T1 is gold finished, American made, and runs on Android 15. It's got a 6.7-inch OLED display, 12GB of RAM, 256GB of expandable storage, and a 5,000 mAh battery. Oh, and it still includes a headphone jack. Because apparently Trump supporters love two things: freedom and aux cables. Now, design-wise, it kinda looks like if an iPhone had Down syndrome. But here's the real question. Is this American-made, or is it just the opposite of Apple? You know, sourced in China and made in the US, and then given a bold ego sticker. What do you guys think? Is Trump's phone gonna be the new wave or just a shiny new meme? And there's more to unpack. From Tesla's shocking new revelations to Meta's controversial decisions and Apple's bold new moves. First up, Tesla's Model 3 got stuck on a track in Pennsylvania, while reportedly in full self-driving mode. Tracks? Nah, those look like roads with personality. The driver had to manually pull some fast and furious moves to dodge an oncoming train. The damage was minimal. He just had to kiss a side mirror goodbye. Then we go south to Austin, Texas. Elon's favorite fan club, aka advocacy groups, staged a controlled test using the Model Y using self-driving tech. They set up flashing lights, a stationary school bus, and child-sized mannequins. And the Tesla, well, it just drove through the scene like it's GT on casual mode. And distract the mannequins. You know, the child-sized mannequins. Well, the good news is that no Teslas were harmed during the making of this test. The bad news is that those imaginary kids, well, they'll need some seriously imaginary therapy. So now this all ties into Tesla's upcoming Robotaxi launch. Will it finally have the full self-driving tech that doesn't confuse a stop sign for a polite suggestion? Or will it be the stylish but chaotic cousin to the safer option like the Waymo, which looks like a tech potato stuck with 87 cameras around it? One FSD to rule them all toward, well, certain death. What's certain is that Windows 11 users report that their PCs sound like the ancient echoes of Windows Vista.
In the latest test versions of the OS, so it sounds like Vista.
Yep, that iconic startup sound has mysteriously returned. Some users on the latest Windows 11 Insider Preview build reported that after restarting their PCs, they were greeted with a nostalgic audio cue, but only if they installed the preview build after June 13th. Now, Microsoft says it's a bug, not an Easter egg. Apparently some employees joked about bringing it back, but officially from Microsoft, they say we had no idea how it actually got there. Sure, because software just randomly pulls out a file from 2006 and throws itself into code, scheduled for an update. Yeah, I totally believe that. All we know is the new macOS resembled Windows Vista, and then suddenly Windows 11 sounds like Windows Vista. Coincidence? I think not, or my name isn't Frodo Baggins. Meta wants to monetize WhatsApp, because apparently privacy is free, but everything else, not so much. They're adding ads to status screens similar to what Instagram offers. So imagine scrolling through your morning feed like good morning, seeing your friends' cute dogs, and then boom, ads. So now Meta says these ads will be targeted, but don't worry, not using your weird chat or calls, just your country, language, and follow channels. So now they're not reading your good morning babe text messages, but that's not all. WhatsApp channels are also getting an upgrade or downgrade depending on how much you like capitalism. Creators and businesses can now pay for promotion in the Discovery tab and charge for exclusive updates via paid subscriptions. Yes, you'll soon be able to subscribe to WhatsApp channels. Because you know what's better than endless messages? Paid endless messages. Business mindset. It's all part of Zuckerberg's grand plan to monetize everything. And I mean everything. This man could probably charge you to blink while scrolling on your own phone. You probably would. Speaking of things dying slowly, is Google killing itself? Because it just rolled out an experimental feature called audio overviews. Basically, when you search for stuff, Google gonna read the answer aloud like a tiny podcast, but without the ads or the personality. Sounds cool, right? Or it isn't. On one hand, it might save you time. No more reading walls of text, just sit back and listen. On the other hand, what about those websites that depend on you clicking, reading, and engaging with their content? This could totally crash their traffic, which we're already seeing with some sites. So what do you think? Will this be a game changer that actually saves us time? Or would this tremendously harm those sites that we depend on reading still? Into the Apple news. Delay, delay, delay. That's the vibe I'm getting from Apple, my dear viewer. Trusted analyst Jeff Pugh says Apple might finally launch the AirPods Pro 3 next year. Why the wait? Well, Apple wants to get some stuff that is still needs to drop out of the way, like the Watch Series 11 and the HomePod tablet. They don't want 2024 to be a total snooze fest like it already has been. So the plan, make us wait and then sneak out the better AirPods Pro after everyone else forgotten about them. Oh, and just recently the AirPods Pro 3 just showed up in some code references for iOS 26, so it's not just wishful thinking, but hey, anything can happen with Apple. That's not the only thing Apple may release next year. A redesign of the MacBook Pro is reportedly coming in 2026 because apparently Apple wants to skip a few years before caring about it again. It's expected to feature a 2-stack tandem display, which honestly sounds like a wrestling move, but it basically translates to better brightness and better efficiency. The notch likely going to be replaced by a smaller hole punch, which I do hope they either keep the notch or add Face ID to this, because it would totally be useless. According to Bloomberg, Apple is also aiming for a slimmer design. Though no exact dimensions have been given, they originally planned for this redesign this year, but Display Tech issue says, yeah, good luck with that. So now it's been pushed to 2026, and when it launches, it will roll out with the M6 built on TSMC's 2nm process, which will offer better efficiency and better performance. Apple is also bringing some serious steps to the iPhone 18 Pro line. The A20 chip, which will reportedly be built on TSMC's 2nm process, will feature something called wafer-level multi-chip module packaging. I know, it's a long name, but basically it lets Apple integrate the CPU, GPU, and memory into one tight package, which honestly sounds similar to what Apple's already doing with the M series chips, and we've already seen what that offers. So we would expect better performance and efficiency across the board with everything running smoothly. Apple is still keeping the same RAM at 12GB across all models, and we basically can predict the next excuse. 12GB of RAM on iOS is equals to 24GB on Android. Sure, Tim, sure. Oh, and this chip will only be in the top tier models like the iPhone 18 Pro, the Pro Max, and the upcoming iPhone 18 Fold. And into the gaming news. According to leaker ChillDog, that's 2 Ds and a side of drama, Intel's upcoming Core Ultra 1300 series is expected to feature up to 52 cores. That's not a CPU, that's a tiny village of cores living together in harmony. Now, the top dog, the Core Ultra 9, will have the 52 cores, the 7 will get the 42, the 5 will get the 28, and the 3, the 16. TDP ranges from 65 watts to 150 watts, but let's be real, Intel's TDP is more like a suggestion, more of a limit. Each chip will include 4 low-power cores on a separate die. And yes, a new socket is required because Intel just can't commit to a long-term relationship right now. Now, the real question is, will this put Intel back in the game next year, or will it be the same old game? Or are we just getting more cores, more watts, and the same old story? Intel is not just going big next year, they're going broke, or they're broke. They're prepping a budget-friendly CPU for their more financially challenged customers by cutting the price and cutting the E-cores entirely, because who needs efficiency when you just sweat it out with 6 performance cores and 12 threads. It's tailored for 1080p gaming, comes with a suggestive 65W TDP and slots into the LG A1700 platform. Over Team Red and AMD sharpening its blades for the upcoming Ryzen 7 9700F. I had to look at my screen because its name is so damn long. An 8-core 16-thread chip built on brand new Zen 5 Granite Ridge architect. It's expected to launch at the sub $300 price point, with the F meaning forget about integrated graphics because it's targeted for people with discrete graphics cards. AMD specifically targeting Intel's Core 5 245K with this chip for the mid-tier gaming range, which perfectly balances CPU power and gaming and creative performance while prioritizing value over bells and whistles. Okay, and to wrap things up, a Chinese YouTuber just uncovered a shocking GPU counterfeiting trick that after receiving 4 supposedly RTX 4090 GPUs, it turns out 3 of them were fakes and cleverly disguised in 3090s and 3080s, dressed up to look like the real deal. These knockoffs mimic the look of an RTX 4090 but couldn't actually perform and were later unsalvageable. Honestly, it's wild that people still fall for this scam, but it's the internet. That's life. What do you guys think about today's tech circus? From Trump's phone drama to Apple's delayed tech and these fake GPUs. I want to know your opinions down in the comments below. This is Lamar, and I'll see you in the next one.